Right, I seen a video a couple of weeks ago, Rich's bottom 5 supposedly haunted places. This is in the UK. And tonight I'm only going to show you one. If you want to see the rest of them, I'll leave a link in the description to the channel and the video so you can see the other 4. We're only covering one today. With the 4 mentioned places, you have to pay for these locations and pay a very hefty price. So I have something to say about that, and Rich actually has a lot to say about it in this full video. So again, I'll leave a link in the description.
It appears that if you want to find out the motivation behind anything these days, then all you've got to do is follow the money. If there's any area in society where cash can be made from exploiting the gullible, then you can safely bet there'll be someone somewhere raking it in. And nowhere is this more evident than in the world of ghost hunting.
I like the fact that he shows equipment, first of all, which is overpriced and very often very poor quality. You know, this guy, I agree with an awful lot that he says. You know, and it's not about equipment today, it's about places, but very, very interesting that he actually brought up equipment, and he actually covered a lot of ins and outs of the equipment used in ghost hunting. You know, as I says, I'll leave a link to the channel, and you know, I would encourage you to see some of those videos.
With currently approximately 2/5 of the US population and 1/3 of the UK population believing that ghosts and the afterlife do exist and are real, which is nearly 156 million people, is there any wonder that ghost hunting is currently big business? Locations throughout the world have carefully and methodically built up a reputation on the notion that they are indeed haunted.
If there is a paranormal story and a TV company comes into your premises, or a news outlet from mainstream media, that will put your property on the map, and this is what often happens, and then people make money. I have no problem with people making money, but I do have a problem with people distorting people for money and overpricing and that. We'll get into that now in a wee second. I am aware that there is a bit of a buzzing noise. I've been working on this computer all day and I can't seem to get rid of it, but we'll have to put up with it for the day.
It seems you can't go anywhere now without there being some reliable eyewitness
yeah, right.
testimony about a floating full-body apparition of a lady in white, red, brown, or whatever colour clothing they've decided to throw on for a night of being mysterious, hanging around spooky places and scaring the shit out of anyone they happen across. So there's absolutely no surprise at all that said alleged haunted locations have seized upon the opportunity and decided to cash in.
I'm sorry, but I want to play that piece of video again because I thought that was actually funny.
And scaring the shit out of anyone they happen across. With that in mind, and as a totally free public service announcement to all would-be intrepid ghost hunters, I'm Rich from Paranormal Tedium, and here are our bottom 5 allegedly haunted locations in the UK that you must pay to investigate.
Can you guess what number 5 is? Take a wild guess.
Number 5. Before we get into it, if you're new here...
Ah, for fuck's sake. Rich, I've got a soundbite for you actually.
Fuck you!
Please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that little bell icon. We're trying out new content all the time, so we'd hate for you to miss out.
As I says, link is in the description.
Okay, here we go.
Bet it's a lovely castle. After all, you need to get your money's worth. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can torture yourself with my beautiful content.
Number 5.
Ooh. Oh, I forgot, we're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Just thought I'd put that out there. Sorry.
Ooh, remember to give this vid a thumbs up too. Not only will it make you instantly feel better about yourself, you'll be helping us out a little in the process.
We are getting there, I promise.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Thanks. Oh, and one more thing. Before anyone goes ranting in the comments, "Nah, you're just ripping off other popular list channels in a desperate attempt to gain more views, likes and subscriptions." Well, let me just point out that this is a parody and ultimately a homage to these channels, so twat and get over yourself, okay?
Basically what he's saying is if there's any salty keyboard warriors,
Kindly go fuck yourself.
Let's continue. No, but yeah, you're right, we are. Look, just forget about that and let's bloody well get on with the list, shall we? Jeez. Number 5, 30 East Drive, Pontefract, West Yorkshire, England.
I do have a soundbite which is quite appropriate at this moment in time.
Holy fuck!
Yes, I would quite agree.
Starting somewhat close to home, 30 East Drive and the twatting Black Monk of Pontefract are probably the most notorious of UK institutions within the paranormal community, irrespective of where you live on the planet. You've only got to search on YouTube to be instantly inundated with a multitude of video content, all claiming to show evidence of some kind or another of paranormal activity at that former council house property.
It can't be that expensive to rent a council house for 4 or 5 hours or a night.
You're a fucking idiot!
Maybe I'm wrong.
It seems that every intrepid ghost hunter and their grandmothers have been there to investigate at some point.
And why is everybody and their grandmother investigate here? It's because of actually YouTube and Facebook. It's a trending location. Simple as.
I mean, seriously people, it's been bloody well done to death. Ha! Did you see what I did there? Even the current owner and 30 East Drive filmmaker Bill Bungay claims on the website he hasn't actually stayed overnight.
Great business strategy, Bill. Well done, well done.
And states you'd be nuts to want to.
You would be nuts to want to, but if you do decide to go, we would very, very gladly take your money.
Show me the money!
Although the location has been debunked to buggery in recent years, that doesn't stop intrepid ghost hunters going there, eager to see if they can catch a glimpse of the mischievous Black Monk, also known as Mr. Nobody.
Why was that so funny? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, jeez.
Also known as Fred. So what will it set you back financially to investigate this most infamous Yorkshire alleged haunt? For groups of 1 to 4 people, you'll need to fork out £300 a night to stay between Monday and Thursday.
Well, that's an end to the laughs, isn't it?
Holy fuck!
Seriously? That's 75 quid per person per night. You can get a room at the Grand Hotel in Scarborough for less than that. And that includes an evening meal and breakfast. 30 East Drive, Grand Hotel. 30 East Drive, Grand Hotel.
That actually looks like a very good hotel, actually. On the other hand, 30 East Drive, Donald says it best.
Big massive dumps.
I know where I'd rather be staying for the money. Should you want to stay a night between Friday and Sunday or on a public holiday, then the cost jumps to £400 a night.
At this moment in time, the famous words of Mr. Jonathan Pye from YouTube has come into my mind.
It's utter, absolute, arse, wanky, cheese, fucking ballbag bollocks, is what it is. Arrest me.
I totally agree, Jonathan.
The cost per head does drop though, for groups of 5 and up to a maximum of 10 people.
Why on earth would anybody put into their head in the first place, let's gather 10 people to investigate a creaky 3-bedroom council house. And to add to that, right, remember the hotel where you get the evening meal? If you go to this house, you are not allowed to cook there. The last time I was informed, you are not allowed to use the cooker. So you have to go down to a dodgy takeaway down the street. So when you go down to the takeaway and bring up your food, you have 10 people in a house, you're trying to do a ghost hunt, and you have 10 people walking around farting from the dodgy food, from the takeaway down the street. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
As the cost per night is exactly the same as it is for groups of 1 to 4. But this is only available to professional or specialist groups that have obtained liability insurance beforehand.
I'm a professional idiot and I specialise in trying to be funny and failing miserably. Does that count?
Then on top of that, get this, you've got to take your own twatting bed in.
I'm waiting for him to tell me that I have to bring my own pot to piss in as well, because you can't use the bathroom.
The fuck? On the upside, if you can call it a chuffing upside, there's only one double bed, one single bed, and one small single bed. So you won't have to take that much bedding with you. Although, I'm not quite sure where the rest will sleep. On the floor most probably.
I like the holiday rep approach that Rich is putting out here. Do you know, if he was a holiday rep, do you know, welcome to this beautiful island. The wildlife will kill you, the mosquitoes will most likely give you a disease, there's crocodiles, and there's a hole in the roof. It's pissing rain most of the time, but apart from that, everything's okay.
There is a 10% discount available, however, for 5 or more bookings.
Yoo-hoo! What's the catch?
But here we fucking go. The caveat to that is that consecutive nights are classed as one continual booking.
I'm sorry I fucking asked.
Once everyone's signed the visitor waiver, in blood I shouldn't imagine, then you're good to go.
I would love to see a copy of that waiver, because I've heard some rumours that that waiver contains basically the rights to your film footage. Basically, you don't own the footage, they do. Now, don't quote me on that. I've only been told a couple of times by a couple of different people, so don't sue me.
Should you require a protection spell to safeguard your stay, then these can be arranged at £10 per person by a local medium.
I don't really give a fuck, but thanks for letting me know.
Here at 30 East Drive, we support local businesses. I'm wondering, is it one of these psychics who will try and convince you that your grandmother Peggy, her spirit, is reaching out to you? Even though your grandmother's name is Mary, and she's still alive.
Twatting heard it all now, for fuck's sake. Having said all that, there is some good news for a specific demographic of the populace.
You see, I thought it might have been negative, but there was something inside me that knew that there was good news to come. And here we have it, folks. So hit me with it, Rich. What have you got for us?
Should you be a theoretical physicist and wish to visit 30 East Drive, then you can gladly stay for free.
That is the end of number 5. It goes on to number 4 and the rest of them. And there is actually very nice locations for the rest of them. So, as I says at the beginning of the video, I'll leave a link in the description to the whole video so you can see the rest of it. But I wanted to talk for a few minutes about locations like this. Now, you are expected to fork out loads of money for a place like this. One of the reasons why I don't fork out for locations like this is if I am going to fork out that amount of money, I would like to see at least 6 months of CCTV footage inside the house with nobody in it. And I would like to judge for myself, is there activity in that house or not? Or is it just a business to make money? After all, this is a trending location. The way it works on YouTube is you know, 30 East Drive, people are going to watch it, people are familiar with it, a lot of people have investigated there, and it boosts your channel. Now the thing is, you know, for bigger teams, that is fine. They can get, they can get help from their viewers for that. You know, listen guys, we are going to go to 30 East Drive, but it is going to cost us money. It is going to cost us money on transport, food, and the cost of the place. So if you want to see 30 East Drive, there's a link in the description, blah blah blah. If you can help us out, it'd be flipping brilliant. Some channels don't even have to do that. People are throwing money at them anyway. But for the smaller creator or the smaller paranormal investigator, some people save up the money and do this. And it's not something that I'd be willing to, that's not something that I'd be willing to do, you know? For the simple reason is as Rich pointed out at the beginning of this this video, you know, you've got a choice. You can spend the night at 30 East Drive, or you can have a night in a very fancy hotel for less than that. You know, what's the better value to you? Do you know? Some people would say, well, you know, if you're going to capture paranormal, you know, activity, it's going to do your channel brilliant, and you get that paranormal experience. Yeah, I get that, but I haven't seen anything that popped out, you know, that blew me away. Maybe once I seen a creak in the door, or a gap in the door in the bathroom, and a shadow going past. And then they go to the bathroom and there's nobody there. You know, there's a couple of things like that. I'm not saying it's not haunted or anything like that, but gee, man. You see, the thing is, people are charging money for places like that, are charging a lot of money. Now, the other locations, 421, are even bigger locations. Some of them I've never heard of, and they're big locations. Do you know? And they're even more money. Do you know? So I mean, like, you have to think: is it actually worth it? Do you know, it's important if you're spending that bit of money to do a bit of research and stuff, but sometimes people classify research as looking at other people's ghost hunting videos on YouTube, who, you know, some of them have an overactive imagination and will jump at every creek in that and claim that it's paranormal evidence. So I don't know. I would rather see some constant CCTV footage of of places like this, monitored, you know, and possibly, you know, put out a live feed of these places for 6 months or 12 months, and see what the results are. You know, have a CCTV system if there's places that are really haunted and that. Show us the money. Show us a live link for about 6 months of CCTV footage of people in the house and when a location is completely empty. one of the things I'd be looking for is what is it like when there's nobody there. Simple things, no pollution of anybody being there, and not looking at other people's videos on YouTube where the emphasis is on the location and people are going to watch. So, people push their best foot forward and put on an exciting show. And as I said, some people have an overactive imagination and will pull a few stunts. Because it's a big location and there's lots of people watching, you want to give people value for money. I'm not saying all people do that, but I don't see it in these locations. I would like to see proper recorded data before I would fork out money for that. Otherwise I would spend it on a little hotel, or rent out a holiday house for a couple of nights and enjoy myself, with proper facilities, and good food, Anyway, folks, I'm going to go. As I said, there's a link in the description to the rest of that video from Rich, and feel free to have a look. Feel free to have a look at some of his other videos on paranormal equipment and some of his thoughts on the paranormal and stuff like that. So, good night, folks. It's 3 in the morning, so I'm gonna go. I'm tired. See you next time. Bye.